Hello, and welcome to today's Kibo client webinar, Peak Planning, Win Big with Social Proof and Product Finder. My name is Brandy, and I'm in the marketing department here at Kibo. We're very excited about today's presentation. If you'll flip to the next slide for me, Lee. Today's presenters are two of our most knowledgeable folks here at Kibo about Kibo personalization, Lee Loomis, who's a senior product manager, and Jay Lansdowne, who's a senior strategy consultant. Today, we're going to talk about some of the things that are new at Kibo in personalization, some interesting content you may want to check out. And then we're going to focus really in on Social Proof and Product Finder as some quick wins, and then maybe a longer term strategy with Product Finder down the line that could work really well for you as you're preparing for your, right in the middle of your peak season planning to help you really excel on both Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all of that wonderful shopping that happens in between. We're going to share with you a couple of customer success stories that we have at Kibo and also leave you with some really great tips and tricks that you can take home with you and apply to your own personalization strategy. Quickly, before I turn the presentation over to Lee and Jay, peak season planning, very important time for you all. We just released our Kibo Holiday Guide 2022 about a month ago. You can find that on our website at kibocommerce.com. Besides talking about Product Finder and Social Proof, you'll see a lot of great tips and other kind of greatest hits over the years that we featured in some of the guides that are just really great kind of things to do and kind of ways you can leverage different personalization features to really make your peak planning and your messaging for both Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and any other shopping messages you may have really stand out. If you've been with Kibo for a while, you know that we release our quarterly e-commerce benchmark reports, and our next one comes out on September 1st. You will also be able to find that for download on our website or also in your email inbox. So we're really excited about that. And now, without further ado, I would love to hand the presentation over to Jay Lansdowne.
Thank you, Brandy. In the wake of COVID-19's massive disruption and the global economy's failure to fully recover from that setback, many businesses find themselves paying for peak in a difficult position. Kibo provides these businesses the platform to squeeze the most juice out of the money they're spending on their e-commerce platforms with a wide range of tools, which you can see on the next slide. As a platform, you see here that there are many tools and mechanisms to help achieve this. But today, we're going to focus on the product Social Proof and Product Finder. So I shall now pass over.
Social proof is all about the wisdom of the crowd. In the absence of information, we seek out information from others. If you think about the last time you were looking for like a pair of trainers or sneakers to get back into shape, or a new restaurant to dine at, or even a mechanic you can trust, you probably asked friends or family members for their guidance. Or you went online and saw celebrity endorsements, or read ratings or reviews, or looked at hot items or top sellers to all sort of reinforce your purchase decision. And it's exciting when you see that kind of information. It reassures you that you're making the right purchase. So why use social proof in e-commerce? Well, it's a quick way to deliver a high amount of ROI in a very short time period. And it's been shown to increase sales because it encourages shoppers to buy more confidently by displaying the right information at the right time. It's also been shown to improve engagement because you're able to show in real time how many people are looking at or buying an item. You're able to reduce cart abandonment through well-timed messaging and see a greater ROI from social traffic sources. Social proof is relatively easy to set up. It is fully customizable so that you could go and you can choose which pages the message shows up on, whether that's your product listing pages or your product detail pages. We offer multiple types of messaging, whether it's messaging based on views, carts, or purchases, as well as scarcity-based messages based on a lack of inventory, which is designed to create fear of missing out. I think we've all seen social proof messaging where it said, hurry, last one remaining, and you had that mini moment of panic, and you thought to yourself, well, I don't need it, but it's the last one, so it's now or never. We also enable you to fully customize the messages that are being shown, and all of this is really easy to deploy. I'm going to show you just how quickly you could set one of these up and get it live on production. And then because it is part of our holistic testing and personalization platform, You get all of the benefits of including your social proof messaging and tests in a single place so that you're able to run different A/B tests to optimize the message types as well as the messages that you're showing. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Jay.
Thanks, Lee. Here's an example from one of our clients, Toolstation, and how they used a quick deploy social proof experience during one of the most important times of the year to really increase their revenue. Now, Toolstation needed a way to nudge visitors into a buying mentality to hit their January sales targets. And as a lean team of just one, their conversion manager, Matt Blosker, needed an easy-to-use method to increase conversion. Toolstation joined the early adopter program for Kibo Social Proof and had an A/B test of social proof up in minutes. Matt tested different wording in the social proof messaging to optimize performance. He targeted different customer cohorts with more trade or consumer-based messaging, and doing this, his team saw a 30 times ROI lift from social proof alone. I mean, this sounds great. What would it look like? Lee, I'll let you show them.
And we'll take a look at Toolstation's. So as you can see here, Toolstation went with a purchase plan, and their time period is in the last 24 hours. So we can see that they've sold 7 products in the last 24 hours. And this is incredibly powerful when you're trying to figure out if this is the right miter saw for you, because now you can see that this is a frequently purchased item. And now I'm going to show you how to actually build one of these for yourself. So we start off with our standard experience builder, and I'm just going to go to add action, and we're going to click on a social proof type. And if you're using view, cart, or purchase social proof messaging, the nice thing about that is you're already passing us all of that data to begin with. So there's no setup on that part. The only thing that is required is we would have to run a quick script to basically scrape all of the PIDs off of the page. And then if you're passing inventory data via your catalog feed, then we're able to use that and create inventory-based messages as well. And if not, it's a relatively simple ad to get it in there. But for the purposes of this, we're going to do social proof based on views. We've got our look back period. 1 day works really nicely as a starting point. But because I'm going to show this on a test site, I'm going to use the last 30 days worth of data. And we can see we've got our minimum number of messages. You'll want to adjust this to match whatever traffic level your site is experiencing. So for higher traffic sites, you'll probably want to pick a higher number, or low traffic ones, we'll pick a lower number. Then we have our message, and we've got this pre-populated, so it'll be very easy to use. I'm going to make a slight customization to this because I want it to stand out a little bit more, and I'm going to put this in red. And then we've already got our element selector picked out, so we know exactly where it's going to show up on page, which would be done during the initial setup. And at that point, I'm going to create this. And I'm going to make this live for everyone to see. Okay, perfect. Now let's do a quick preview. And we'll go to Camp and Hike. And you can see, perfect. Now we're showing that this product is trending and 3 people have viewed it today. And we often recommend layering strategies together with viewing being overridden by carts, being overridden by purchases, so that you're able to show the most effective message to each individual user while maximizing coverage of the catalog. And that's just how easy it is to set up a social proof message. And you can see why Toolstation and countless other clients have been incredibly successful in increasing their revenue and getting to market quickly with our social proof product. When you pair this with our powerful testing solution, you'll be able to quickly build messages that have a profound impact on your customer's journey. So if you're looking for a quick way to increase sales during this peak season and social proof seems like it might be a good fit for you, I would highly encourage you to speak to your CSM about how social proof can help. And I'm going to turn it back over to Jay for tips and tricks.
Social proof works best when individuals feel unsure, hesitant, or indecisive. And the good news is that describes almost everyone buying online. It's extra powerful when we believe the group we're comparing ourselves to is similar to us, That's actually why people who bought this product have also bought that product. Recommendations work so well. But social proof turbocharges that. How can you make it work for you? Let's see some tips and tricks. 79% of people say that social proof highly impacts their purchasing decisions. So social proof can be incredibly influential. Testing. When running social proof, it's important to remember that each site and each user base has very different requirements. You may not know what they are straight away. So test. We saw how Toolstation tested the messaging, but also think about the design or the algorithm used. You may find that what users are viewing or adding to cart or even purchasing work best for you and your users and your site, and it might surprise you. Consider your industry. The types of social proof you display will depend on your industry. For example, e-commerce sites might display a number of purchases or customer views, while media companies can show readership or subscriber figures, and a travel company might show a number of vacations or holidays booked. Machine learning. Kibo's social proof doesn't exist in a vacuum. Once you know what measures describe what success looks like for you and for your social proof experience, you might find it more effective to let Kibo's machine learning allocate the traffic to each variant. That may be using dynamic testing or automated personalization experiences, letting the wisdom of the crowd dictate and show the most effective variant to either all your users or to the audience or audiences that respond best to it. Let's talk now about the product finder.
Perfect. Thanks, Jay. So when people are presented with too many choices, they will not make a choice, even to their own detriment. And that's where Product Finder comes in because it helps with choice overload to take a consultative approach to your shopper's buying journey. If you think about the last time you showed up at a home improvement store with a handful of parts or in need of some new tool, and what you really needed was advice. It's not just a screwdriver that you need or a drill or anything. You've got a handful of parts and you need their insight, their knowledge, because you have a gap in your own information, or you just are staring at a wall of tools trying to figure out which one is the right one for you. That's where Product Finder comes in because it's so much more than just a catalog search. It allows you to ask people the right questions and make them specific to whatever it is that they're looking for. Because nobody knows your products better than you. So when you're able to understand what your customers' needs are, then you can recommend products to them and you can educate shoppers on the products that you actually carry. So why use Product Finder? Well, Product Finder has been shown to deliver up to a 2x increase in conversions. It increases sales by helping visitors navigate really complex catalogs and make informed purchases. So it's educating them while you're moving them through their shopping journey. It's improving engagement because they're interacting with this product, they're learning, and it helps drive LTV. So setting up a product finder is relatively straightforward. It's comprised of two pieces. There's the questionnaire itself, which is where you can actually go and build the questions that you want to ask people. And you're able to use branching logic so that you can have custom questions based on responses to previous questions, which makes Product Finder really powerful at asking only the fewest number of questions that actually matter to inform a shopper's journey. You can also style the product finder to deeply integrate it with your site and control the recommendations that come out of it. And because Product Finder is part of our personalization and testing platform, it also is easily integrated into an A/B test so that you can optimize your messaging, your recommendations, and even your questionnaire itself to build one that it maximizes results.
So, tips and tricks for Product Finder. It helps to think of likely touched on, each product finder is an individual sales clerk or curator. They're there. Their job is to help the customer avoid choice paralysis. To best achieve this, start with categories. These categories should be clear, meaningful, and most importantly, informative to the customer. Once the customer has chosen a category, like walking backpack or car bag, you can start asking questions. These questions should condition the complexity. So start with low choice questions and later increase to high choice questions. This gives the customer a lower barrier to entry, increases their engagement, and gets them used to choosing. Don't overload the customer with information. Try and keep both questions and answers short, with about 3 to 7 words for each of them. Just like the social proof we looked at earlier, product finders don't exist in a Kibo vacuum. Build an experience, optimize it based on data, improve it, and then expand it. In other words, test, learn, and iterate. By following these steps, the product finder you build should really help both you and your customer. Now Lee's going to give you a demo of the product finder.
Thank you, Jay. So Product Finder works really well when paired with content. And one of the ways we can do that is by creating a product finder that perhaps gives people an intro to something that they're not familiar with, really leaning into educating shoppers. So if you think about hiking, most people aren't super familiar with the concept of backpacking and don't know the things that they need to understand to have a really successful trip going camping and not spend a ton of money. So if we have this page right here, which is providing a good amount of information or an introduction to camping, let's try and do something a little bit different. So we've got our standard product recommendations that most people would do, but let's see if we can do a little bit better by maybe making these specific to the type of camping that a user is doing and the things that they're actually looking for. So to do that, we're going to use Product Finder. So I'm going to create a new Product Finder. And this is going to be our camping introduction product finder. I've got a recommendation strategy already set up that I can use, which is our product finder onboarding. And I want to return results at the end of the questionnaire as opposed to after each question. So now I'm going to add in my first question, what is your camping style? And we're going to have 2 different options for this. We're only going to allow a single answer for this. We're going to have backpacking, and then we are also going to have car camping. And the reason asking this upfront because it becomes so important and informs everything else that you're doing is if you're going backpacking, weight is your enemy. You don't want to carry a ton of weight over, 5, 10 miles or more, depending on the type of backpacking you're looking for. Whereas if you're going car camping, you can afford a lot more luxury items like a cold beer. So let's actually start putting in some filters to make this work. So the first filter we're going to do for backpacking is because we don't want to carry anything heavy, we're going to add in a weight that is less than 3 pounds. Because that is irrelevant for car camping, because you literally are taking it from your car to your camping spot literally next door, you're able to disregard weight. So we're not actually going to put a filter in for weight. And now let's add in some images to make this look nice. And we will add in an image here. And let's add another question. All right, now we have to add in question 2. And here's where we're going to start getting a little bit more specific to our shopper to ask them what type of gear they're looking for. And we're going to use the instructional text field here. And we're going to make this a multi-select so that they can select all the products that they're looking for. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm only going to be adding in 3 products, but there are a lot more products and probably a lot more questions that you could be asking, such as like what type of weather you're going camping in, are you looking for winter gear, and all sorts of other stuff that would be helpful. but because this is a demo, we're just going to keep this nice and short. And now for intent, we're going to add in a product type of intent. Backpacking, let's add an image so that looks nice. And we're going to add our product type filter. Backpack. And we'll do the sleeping bag. Oops. We'll do the sleeping bag as well. Then our image. Then a filter. Okay. Choose that this goes to the end of our questionnaire. I'm going to hit save. And now we have to choose. Well, you're setting up the branching logic. Because this is only one question, I'm going to have both questions linked to the second question in our survey. And then I'm going to hit save. You can preview your results here if you wanted to check the branching logic and see an unstylized version to make sure everything's working. I highly do recommend doing that. But for our purposes, I'm going to show you now how to add one to your site. So we're going to do a experiment. Oops, pick conversion rates. Here. And we're going to add in our product finder. Okay, so we have our introduction to camping. I'm going to pick how many products I want to have returned. And now I need to pick where I want it to appear on the page. So the name of this container where we're showing product recommendations, we want to replace that. So it's FP widget. And we're doing a replacement. Now, it may not be a bad idea to do an A/B test, but for the purposes of this demo, we're just going to do a 100% experiment. And now, if you're worried about the sea of code right here and your eyes are glossing over and this feels a bit overwhelming, you are not alone, and we've factored that in. So we have made this so it will work out of the box with no modifications, and that's what I'm going to show you today. If you are so inclined as to want to make this more your own and deeply integrate it in with your brand's personal style, you're also able to do that because we have exposed all of the code that you would need to do that. And with that, I'm actually just going to target the page to our Hiking Essentials page. And now we can create this, and let's preview it. So if we go back to our Hiking Essentials page, you can see our product recommendations are done. And now we're asking people what is their unique style, take the quiz and find out. And all of this messaging is customizable in the experience. And we can see that we have two different options. We have our backpacking option and our car camping option. And we can see we're asking people which products they're looking for. And in this case, let's select a tent. And we can see now we have 4 personalized results back to me, all of which designed to help me find the products that I'm actually looking for and go way beyond what a normal recommendation strategy could do. So whether you're talking about helping people build their own makeup routine, get into camping, or find the right insurance plan, Product Finder can guide your shoppers to the right products that increase conversions and AOV. And so if taking a consultative approach to selling, reducing choice overload, or creating a gift finder for this holiday season speaks to you, I would definitely encourage you to reach out to your CSM to learn more about how Product Finder can help. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Brandy.
Well, thank you, Lee. Just want to thank everybody for watching today's video. And once again, thank you so much to both Jay and Lee for a great presentation. And as Lee mentioned, if you do have interest in learning more or having a more involved demo of either Product Finder and or Social Proof, reach out to your CSM at any time. They're here to help. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and have a great day.